Alright, everyone, welcome back to another Watch and Talk here at Automotive Anatomy. Yeah, haven't been doing a Watch and Talk in a bit. I did wash the cars maybe like 2 weeks from now, so they're all my cars are really, really dirty. But it just been drizzling here and there, so haven't had the chance to clean them. Maybe this weekend. At the time of this recording is a Friday, and you guys will see it the following Friday. So quite a bit of time in between, but yeah, I just want to check in and say what's up to everybody. I know that the people that tune in to the Washington Talks are, to me, on a personal level, I think the set of community members who take the time to get to know me a little bit more, and I really appreciate you guys for doing that. Because as we discussed in the past, it's not really that exciting to see somebody wash their car, but if it helps you in one way, shape, or form, I know it helps me. I'll give you as an example. When I watch the guy from Upset's Garage, he'll wash his car, and I don't necessarily watch the video all the time, or the entirety of the time. I'll have it in the background or whatever the case may be, but it helps me in a weird way to organize and clean or continue working on what I'm doing. Just hearing what he's been up to, his stories. He's obviously more of a business. He's more transparent, I guess, than myself when it comes to YouTube and things like that. So I don't know. Kudos to you for taking the time to share, this your valuable time, most valuable asset, and hang out with me. And so I think I've tried this past couple weeks to see if I can organize my time to the best of my abilities. And I noticed that I don't know, some of you guys may or may not like video games. I like video games. I grew up in that era where I didn't have the best console. I think I got a Nintendo 64 when PlayStation came out, right? And then when I finally got PlayStation 2 has already been out. And then when I finally got PlayStation 2, I think PS5 had come out. So I've always been behind the game on that sense. But I'm like, even now that I can afford things, I don't go and buy the most expensive techie stuff. I still have, I just bought FIFA 2022 last year. But before that, I was playing on FIFA 2019 for like the longest, and I don't really care. But I noticed that when I play video games, it really eats up a lot of my time. And so learning how to time manage, and when the year 2023 started, I was like, I don't want to play video games. I put it away. That lasted about 3 months. So that kind of gave me that sense of like, man, like I went 3 months. I did feel way more productive. So any tips, tricks, or structure of time tips that you guys can provide, please leave them in the comment section. How do you go and organize your time? Because I felt that those first 3 months, I didn't have that distraction. I watched maybe 2 hours of TV at most. When I would come home, maybe for an hour to watch, The Office while we were eating, and then another hour before going to sleep, The Office as well. So I was definitely intaking way less screen time, and ever since mid March, I don't know. I just took out the console, started playing, and I'm kind of like, I don't play for 4, 3, 5 hours. No, I play like for an hour and a half. But like even that hour and a half seems like, damn, like I could have used my time more wisely. And some of you guys always tell me like, hey man, that's crazy that like you continue to drop a video, at least a video every week, and this is now your full-time gig. And the reality is that it's difficult at times, because not so much because I don't have the time, but because I choose to do other stuff, right? And so then I'm having to play catch up. And like last week, well, by the time you hear this, the Cressida wagon video, I that same Tuesday night, because I went live on Wednesday. Tuesday night I went to sleep around 10:30, and I was just tired, man. I was like, okay, no, I'm blind. What am I talking about? Like about 11:30, because I remember thinking I can power through this, but I know I'm not gonna be 1,000% content with the way the video comes out. I say, you know what? Let me go to sleep. Let me wake up early, and I end up waking up around 5 in the morning before going to work and editing it. And to be honest, I didn't like that feeling. I felt like it was rushed as opposed to other times where the video is ready to go by Monday, you know? And so it got me thinking about how I need to start organizing my time. Even prior to this, I clean because I feel like my immediate space was crowded. So I'm like, okay, let me clean up. Let me feel a little bit better. Let me feel like I have, you know, a sense of control. And one of the things that as I'm talking to the mic, I'm like, I haven't cleaned my closet. You know, I haven't taken care of the clothes that I haven't worn. I need to, take care of that. So a lot of organization. I last week I ended up showing how I cleaned the garage, my storage, and I also did a little bit of cleaning at where I currently live, um, in order for me to utilize that space for some other stuff. So I think I'm just trying to minimize. I'm trying to clean. I'm trying to declutter. I'm trying to do all those things. It helps me at least. But yeah, I noticed that just playing an hour of video games, which I'm on FIFA right now, right? Um, it definitely makes a huge impact. And I mean, I guess you could say in a positive way, I'm decompressing, I'm distressing, whatever you want to call it. But on the other side, I'm feeling like, man, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to, and that's difficult, you know. However, another big piece, I've been eating healthier. I've been intermediate fasting, I would say, kind of ish. So not really, but I'm trying to cut back to my 2 maybe 3 meals. I'm trying not to eat too late. Like right now, it's about 7 p.m. Sorry, and I had my meal like around 5:36. I'm extremely full right now, so I won't have another meal till maybe 11 in the morning tomorrow. I'm not starving myself by no means. I feel that that's sweet spot for me. I know other people actually really intermediate fast, longer hours, but for me that seems to be working. At work, I feel like my energy level around 11. I eat and then I get another boom of energy, and then boom, I come home, I eat, and then then I'm doing the working out. So a little bit of weightlifting, nothing too crazy, very very simple. And a little bit of cardio, and I feel good. I feel good, but that in itself takes about another hour, right? So I'm now adding up the hours, and I'm like, man, 1 hour working out plus 1 hour of video games, that's 2 solid hours. That's, if we do that at least 4 times a week, that's 8 hours. And so as you guys can tell, the time quickly starts adding up on getting behind on other stuff. And so that's something that I'm going to be working on. I think I'm a very visual person, so I like writing things down. I like keeping track on, okay, so how can I find a solution for this. It's not enough to just recognize there's a problem, but now let's figure it out. And so that's kind of what I've been working on for the past week and some change. I think I feel a little bit better. Hence why I'm doing this watch and talk. That's not gonna go um, immediately, like let's say on a Saturday or a Sunday. I'm well aware that, you know what, it's okay. Because believe it or not, I feel bad that I didn't upload 3 videos per week. Um, I am of that mentality that there shouldn't be any excuses. You know what you need to do. You know your job. You get it done, right. And yes, I always say this is a hobby, but I also feel that I need to be uh, I need to be cognitive of your time and appreciate your time, and the fact that some of you guys are really looking forward to a video on a Friday, whether it's a watch and talk or anything. Um, because I don't know where you're watching this. I don't know. Again, you might be in the restroom, you might be at work, you might be commuting, whatever, wherever you're at, or maybe you're watching at some other time. I really, don't for a second think that I take that for granted, and that doesn't matter for me. I know that um, the more consistent, the more the community grows, the more people will continue to show support, right? Because that's what it's all about. I know for a fact that you guys have said in the past, hey, don't worry if you upload once or twice. We get it. You're caught up with different things. But at the same time, I think that I need to hold my own self to higher standards to ensure that I I time myself. I get the things that I need to do out of the way instead of procrastinating. And so that's something that I'm like, okay, make sure it doesn't happen again. And it's even crazy too because as you guys can tell as I'm watching that car, it's hot. That day was hot, and the reason why I watched that car when it was really hot was for that same reason that I'm not choosing the best times to go and watch the car. And I think part of it is laziness. And the reason why I say laziness is because there's a system that I have to, I have to turn on. I have to take out the pressure washer. I need to connect it. I need to connect the other thing. And I know some of you guys have mentioned, well, you don't need a pressure washer. I just personally really like the way that the pressure washer works. And then when the soap hits, you cover up the car. I really like that. Um, so for me, it's like, let me set it up. That's what seems to working for me. Um, and part of it, I guess, like I said, is laziness. Part of it is just like, man, like, you know, having to move the camera multiple times because neighbors come in, come out. It's frustrating at times, So I'm like, okay, you cannot control what happens, the outside factors, but you can control your immediate actions, and so that's kind of what I've been kind of aiming towards. So I'm definitely gonna be writing down, I guess, more of my time management and see what works for me because decreasing time from playing video games is definitely gonna be in the works. Maybe, like for instance, today is Friday, so I haven't played. I won't. Last night I didn't play. I did play. The day before that I didn't because I was upset at myself that I didn't up. I did upload, but I was in a rush and I didn't like that. So, um, and don't get me wrong, I did the right choice by not editing at night all the way till 12 midnight. One, but I woke up early and I was able to finish it, edit it the way I wanted to edit it. But then that carried over, like, last night I woke up at 3 in the morning and I was just wide awake, so I didn't go to sleep. So right now, when I came home, I slept for about 30 minutes, and I'm like, I don't like that feeling because yeah, my body was telling me, hey, you need to rest, but at the same time, I feel like I'm not being productive in the waking hours and not sleeping when I'm supposed to be sleeping, and I really feel that that's because it comes from that, um, lack of structure. Tomorrow morning I'll be driving to Ontario, which is a solid 45 minutes for me, and I want to get the rolling footage. Tonight I'm gonna go to a car meet that you guys will probably see their footage before this video, um, and that's just to show some love to my core people because I haven't been to a core meet in a bit. So as you guys can tell, I'm like, okay, instead of just staying home and watching TV, let me be more productive. Let me get some steps in. Let me feel like, again, productivity is a huge part for me. Um, but yeah, just definitely wanted to share that with you guys. I don't know how you guys do it. If you guys have recommendations on what works for you. I mean, we all have different ways of learning and getting things done. So whether it's in your professional life, whether it's in your personal life, how do you distinguish? How do you go about maybe a to-do list, or you don't have a to-do list? You just get things done, or maybe you're like me. You're battling with um, lack of structure and procrastination, and you get things done, but you don't do it with the time that it needs. And again, I feel like the first 3 months I was definitely more on top of the channel in the sense of like uploading and editing it with time. I also was listening to a lot of audiobooks, and as of lately I haven't been really listening to many audiobooks. Now I've been listening to a lot more interviews, podcasts, and things like that, but I'm like, okay, I have a goal of books that I need to listen to, and a little bit of kind of easing off the gas. And then on top of that, I know this weekend, the two people that I was gonna interview, they both reschedule, or well, they said, hey, my car's not ready, so there's no real rescheduling going on. But um, I'm like, okay, cool. So that kind of also kills the flow of what I was expecting to do, and I'm okay with that. I understand project cars. I'm actually surprised how many more cars are always working whenever we meet up. But that also kills the flow, right? Because now I was like, okay, well, what do I do? Do I stay home and watch the cars, or do I want to go to a Cars and Coffee? And you guys know I love taking pictures. Um, I love being in a in a small setting, Cars and Coffee. There's a Cars and Coffee, but where I live, maybe like 40 minutes, 35 minutes, 35 minutes. And that thing is huge. It's a big, massive car meet, but I just don't like the vibe of it, so I really don't really go to it. And that's usually that's every Saturday, right? And a lot of clean cars show up, but yeah, when you just don't feel it, you don't feel it. So I'd rather drive 45 minutes the opposite direction to go to a more chill kickback meet that I know that I'm gonna enjoy, and then you guys get to see through the lens of my camera. But as you guys can tell here, I'm cleaning the hood. I'm really taking the time. My wife's car is a black car, so it gets really really scratched up, and it gets really dirty. And so I don't know if it's because she's parking under a tree at work or something, but I'm like, man, like this thing is dirty, and I knew that I needed to hurry because the sun, on a black car, it just destroys it. So if I'm not mistaken, I think I did um another round of soap just to maintain the car kind of, I don't know, I don't know if wet is the right word, but yeah, I didn't want the heat to dry on me. But um, yeah, that was a major piece that has been in the back of my head. I feel like, yes, I've been utilizing my time working out. I've been seeing the progress, the scale. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it just doesn't budget. It doesn't go down, man, and it's extremely frustrating at times. But anybody who has lost weight or that knows the process of losing weight, they understand that scale will lie to you. You can feel great, you can be eating what you're supposed to, and the scale will not go down. And so that's kind of what I'm learning right now, patience. And I think, when was it, maybe like Thursday morning. Yeah, Thursday morning, 'cause I do my weigh-ins on Thursday morning and Monday morning, just to see how I did over the weekend, how I did over the week. And this past Thursday, so yesterday, I think it was a 240 point zero, dead 240. And for the first time, I I'm well aware, before you guys trip out like, oh my gosh, 240, like, dude, you should be. I'm well aware. I'm way over, at least 40 pounds bigger than I want to be. Uh, but my clothes fit feels so much better. And there's one of my buddies, Danny. And we're always texting. He's always showing me progress pictures. I'm showing him progress pictures. I'm sharing my weigh-ins. I'm sharing what I'm eating, and so kind of like my coach, in that sense. And he has gone through his own, weight loss journey. Gains weight, loses weight, gains weight, loses weight, right? And it's cool to finally, for the first time, not gonna lie to you guys, I've been doing this for, I think, since the beginning of March, where I've been, okay, let me check the scale, let me do this. And really, it started from 245, and now I'm at 240 in a span of a month. And to me, I'm like, how is that possible if I've been eating way less? I've been cutting back on sugar. But then when I look back on my notes on the stuff that I've been eating, I'm like, oh no, you're right. I had an ice cream here, I had this, So you realize that, okay, you think you're having such a clean eating schedule, but you really may not be. And so I'm learning to be more patient. I'm learning to, the last week and a half, I was like playing with, I cut back on sugar, and I really mean cut back on sugar. So I was drinking lemon water, and I would put sugar, right? And I love the way lemon water tastes, but I realized I was putting a lot of sugar. So I think it was like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, that I actually was frustrated because the scale was 242. The next day was like 237. And the next day was like 242. It's like, what the heck? My body is fluctuating so much in weight. And I remember telling my wife, like, what the heck, man? I was frustrated. And she gave me like 2 minutes to complain. And she's like, okay, well, look, this is what you got to do. Really evaluate where where everything is falling through, right? Like, if you're saying you're cutting back on sugar but you're not, be honest with yourself. And I was like, you know what, you're right. So I'm still doing my lemon water, but no sugar at all. I'm not adding sugar. um Coffee, I used to have 3 cups of coffee, 2 cups of coffee, and put sugar creamer, and I was in what do you call it, I wasn't restricting myself on the sugar cream because I really like the sugar cream. And then I realized, holy crap, man, I am adding a lot of sugar to different meals, right? Not in one sitting, but over time, 2 cups of coffee every day, let alone coffee, how bad it is for you. So kind of going back through those things. Um, again, I was eating ice cream. I think the last week I had this Ben and Jerry. I don't know why. I just literally was craving sugar, went and started eating it, and I finished the whole thing, and I was like, "What the heck?" So like that self-inflicted wound of, dude, you're doing so well. Why break into the desire to have sugar and then to that extent, right? And so obviously to me that's one of the biggest challenges I've had. I've shared it on the Washington Talks. This is the safest place where I feel where I can share my vulnerable you know things. But the sugar, the eating, my weight loss, that's always been the biggest challenge. But now I'm telling myself, it's easy for me to lose weight, and I'm gonna continue to balance my eating. And yeah, it's crazy. I definitely can attest that just cutting back on my sugar has helped. um, I know Rob from Canada is like, hey man, just drink all water, cut back to 2 meals, you'll be fine. And I get it. I know that's the answer, Rob. I no one's saying that this is uh like, we know the secret. The secret is eat less, be more mobile, you're gonna lose weight. But I think when someone like myself, who has never really been educated, or has had the best of relationship with food. And I know that's a cop out. I know I'm an adult. I can learn all this. I can do better. But what I'm trying to say is, my immediate family, we're of that type of mentality that we I guess, um, we what do you call it? I'm looking for the word. I'm sorry. We put food and a good time together, right? We assimilate it, and so what ends up happening is when we all hang out, and it's like you eat a lot, and my mom, she cooks so good, but it's food that may not be the healthiest. And so over the weekend, if I go see her, at least twice per month, and that I know though that weekend I need to be able to control myself a little bit more. um but that's kind of the thing. My unhealthy relationship with food is something that I need to start working on, and I think I have. So um yeah, that those are the two things that I'm not trying, I'm doing, I'm getting control of, my time and what goes in my mouth, because it's definitely, it affects everything, right? I think it affects your mood, it affects your energy, it affects your attitude, it affects all aspects of your life. And so any of you that have any positive ways of managing time in your food, let me know. I would like to hear it. Like I said, I've been eating more salads. I feel great right now. I do feel like my working out is paying off. I do feel like I have more energy. Um, and like I told you guys, the weight score was at 240 on the dot yesterday. But for the first time, like, I felt lean. I felt better. Like it was. The scale did not matter to me, and I felt good about that. Right. So um, now we just gotta continue. The weekends for me is the most difficult part, because I don't know, if something in my head says, "Hey, it's a weekend. Go have that extra cup of coffee, or get some takeout food." The whole week we're good, and then on the weekend, so it's just getting myself training, getting myself, a little bit more structure. That's the big thing that I'm working on. So to recap, I'm trying to get more structure on the books that I've been listening to, even though I actually been listening to podcasts that are motivating. I need to get more structure on the channel and the editing stuff. I need to make time and put it in my calendar, so that way I'm not rushing. And then lastly, continue with my eating habits, because I've seen a good progress on it, but I know that it can still be much much better. And so I don't want to settle for something so simplistic. But honestly, thank you guys so much for just taking the time this past 24 minutes to listen to me. It means really a lot. Yes, have zero idea what it means, but appreciate the love and the support, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.